All right, boys and girls, let's trace shapes and learn to mix secondary colors from primary colors. Hello, students. Today we are going to be working on a drawing/painting, and you are going to receive a long piece of paper, and I will show you how you can divide that paper into thirds. That's one section, two section, three sections, which is called thirds. And boys and girls, today you're going to need a pencil, a crayon, black preferably, and the primary colors in crayons, yellow, blue, and red, the primaries. And all other colors are combinations of these three colors. So boys and girls, first, you're going to receive this piece of paper, and you're also going to receive some shapes. These shapes are fall shapes, you can see. They're actually ornaments, but I'm going to use them for tracing. You'll have a maple leaf or a pumpkin. You can see there's a hole in it, but that's okay. Acorn or an apple. So you're going to choose three of these shapes. Well, I definitely want to use the pumpkin. And I think I'm going to add the maple leaf. So you're going to be tracing these three shapes. Shall I do the acorn or the apple? I think today I might do a tracing of the apple. So acorn will wait for later. So boys and girls, you're going to try and center these three stencils. You're going to press your finger down and push your pencil on the edge, and you're going to make a tracing of the first one. Try to keep it in the middle. Carefully going around, not letting it shift, and trace the first shape. Right in the middle, I've got my apple. I'm going to make sure my maple leaf is centered, press down, take my crayon, and trace and push on the edge. If you make a mistake, use your pencil and erase it and fix it. No big deal. I'm not trying to press too hard because if I make a mistake, I would like to be able to erase it. And I'm going around this side. You're going to trace the entire shape. This is the maple leaf. Going around. And third shape is my pumpkin. I can turn it either way. I think I might have it go this way because the stem on this side is facing in, and I'll have the stem facing in on this side. Simple. Trace around. That is a simple first step, boys and girls. All right, the next step is you just need a straight edge. Could be a book, could be a piece of paper. You could have a ruler for a straight edge. And what you're going to do is find the middle of each shape. This is about the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. Take your straight edge, make sure the top is straight. You can tell it's straight if it's lined up with the edge of the paper. This is pretty much lined up with the edge of the paper. Does not have to be perfect. And you're going to draw on the top and the bottom of the shape. This is the apple, top and bottom. Not totally perfect, I don't mind. This is about the middle, top of the leaf, bottom of the leaf. That's pretty much split in half. Top of the pumpkin, bottom of the pumpkin. It's not perfectly straight, but it's pretty close, and that's okay. Perfect. All right, with the black crayon, trace over the shape. Nice and steady, you want to trace over the lines you've created. So when we get to this point, you should notice you have 3 shapes and 6 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've divided it into 6 sections with 3 shapes. All right, now this lesson is going to be about color mixing and blending colors and learning primary colors mixed together, which secondary colors they create. So there's a certain way we're going to add color to this paper. The first section is going to be blue. The second is yellow. The third is red. So that is going to be your pattern behind these shapes. Blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red. You have 6 spots to fill, and you're just going to repeat that pattern, and that is going to help you recognize and realize which colors you're mixing together to create your secondary colors. It's simple. Blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red. All right, as you can see, these 3 primary colors are set up like a pattern. Blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red. Well, we're going to combine the first 2, yellow and blue, to make a secondary color. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your brush wet, take a little bit of yellow, or put your brush in yellow, lift it, and put it on your plate. You're going to have maybe a plastic plate. Really, when artists are working with colors on a flat surface, it's called a palette. But I didn't have a palette at home. I just had a plate. So I'm going to have yellow. I'm going to wash my brush. And then I'm just going to touch a little bit of blue. Not a lot. And then I'm going to bring it over in with my yellow and mix it together to make our secondary color, which of course is green. I'm going to wash my brush, because I don't think I have enough paint. I'm going to add a little more yellow. Here we go. Now, once you've mixed your green and you think you have enough paint, lift it over and paint your first shape. And this is not green enough for me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint one layer, and then I'm going to let it dry a little bit. I should actually use a paper towel and dry it up a little bit. And I'd say let's make this a darker green. It's hard to see, so I'm going to take more yellow, lift it over, wash my brush, pick up more blue, add it. Come on, blue. Oh, I like that green. Now, all your greens are going to look different because some of them will have more yellow, some of them will have more blue, some of them will have more water. Oh, I like that. And you're going to paint your first color in. This is a secondary color, a blending or a mixing of yellow and blue. And we have made green. Nice. And our shape is complete. Now, in some lessons, we'll paint over this blue crayon. So this is blue. Paint over this yellow. This would be yellow. But not at the moment. All right, I'm going to wash my brush. Wipe off my palette. So you have a nice clean surface. And we're going to do our next color. Red and blue. So you do the same thing. You make sure you have a clean brush. We're going to pick up some red and move it over. I need more water in my brush. You've got to make a little puddle here. You have to have enough paint to get through this shape. And here we go, red. Lots of nice red. You don't have to pick it up. And then I'm going to pick up the blue, dip it, put it over here. You don't have to touch the red yet, but we are going to mix those two colors together. And I have a feeling you know what color we're making here. I'm adding more blue. I need a lot of blue. All right, and they're starting to mix a little bit, and bring them together and mix the entire puddle. Ooh, and we have a beautiful purple, violet. It's pretty dark because I added a lot of blue, but I like it. So, as you can see, red and blue mixed together makes a violet color, and that is a secondary color, violet. And you're going to paint that shape in. Beautiful. And wash my brush out. Wipe up my palette. Oops. I'm going to move this blue over. And I'm going to mix the last two colors together. I should have probably started with orange because orange is such a light color usually. And we are going to mix yellow and red. My water is a little dirty. Let's see if I can get a nice orange. I don't know. I'm going to start with yellow. I'm going to put a little yellow on my plate or palette. And I'm just going to put a tiny little dab, wash my brush, of red. Right here. Okay, that should do. Let's see how well they mix together and what type of orange color we're going to get. Oh, I have so much red. It's pretty dark. And keep mixing. Keep mixing. I think I'd like a little, I'm going to test it. Looks too red to me, so I'm going to wash my brush. And I need a little more yellow. Here we go. Mix, mix, mix. Make sure you mix it all together. And that looks more orange now. Good. Oh, I splattered on my paper. Here we go. And an orange pumpkin. All right, well, if you happen to finish early and you're neat about it, a clean container of water would be very good. And with a clean brush, you could paint into these colors. Always starting with the lightest color first, yellow. So I'm going to add a little yellow inside yellow. And it will really pop. I don't want to do it when it's wet because it mixes colors. This is a little wet. We'd have to wait for it to dry. This is now becoming a resist. You can see that the crayon will not soak the paint in, and the paint will soak into the paper in between the crayon marks. So we're going to do all the yellows, reds, and blues.